Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Well, today we're tackling something pretty amazing in the world of global health. You sent this report over about India's progress in fighting tuberculosis.
Yeah,
And honestly, I was blown away by some of these numbers.
it's really something.
Yeah, so, before we even get into the details, I think it's worth just sort of acknowledging the sheer scale of what we're talking about here.
Right.
India has a huge population,
Absolutely massive.
and tuberculosis has been a major problem there for decades. So even a small improvement would be a big deal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But what we're seeing here is not small at all.
Not even close.
So let's get right to it. What's the headline here? What's got us so excited?
The headline is that India has achieved a 17.7% decline in TB incidence between 2015 and 2023.
17.7%.
Yep, that's more than double the global average, which is sitting around 8.3%.
Wow, so twice the global rate.
Yeah, that's remarkable progress.
It really is. So, for someone like me who maybe doesn't deal with these kinds of statistics every day, what does that actually mean? Like, how do we translate that into real-world impact?
It means fewer people are getting sick, fewer families are facing the burden of this disease, and ultimately it means lives are being saved.
Thousands of them, probably.
Absolutely. And the report highlights that India has set an ambitious goal for themselves: complete elimination of TB by 2025.
2025, that's just around the corner.
Yeah.
So what's the secret sauce? What are they doing that's working so well?
A lot of it comes down to their National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, or NTEP. This program has been instrumental in driving this progress.
Okay, NTEP, the report mentioned it being super comprehensive, but what does that mean in practice?
It means they're tackling TB on multiple fronts, not just treating the sick, but actively seeking out cases in the community, providing free medication to remove any financial barriers, and using technology for better diagnosis and monitoring.
So it's not just about medicine. It's about reaching people, making sure they have access to care.
Exactly. They have mobile X-ray vans that go into remote villages, providing on-the-spot diagnosis and treatment.
Wow, that's incredible. Bringing healthcare directly to the people who need it most.
Right. And they've also been really successful in raising public awareness about TB and fighting the stigma that's often associated with the disease.
Because stigma can prevent people from seeking help.
Right? Absolutely. It's a huge barrier to treatment.
So they're addressing the social and economic factors that contribute to the spread of TB alongside the medical side of things.
Exactly. They've recognized that you can't just treat a disease in isolation. You have to consider the whole context.
That makes a lot of sense. But even with all these incredible efforts, the report did mention that the fight isn't over. What are some of the challenges India still faces in reaching its 2025 goal?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is ensuring that everyone who needs treatment can access it. There are still people, particularly in marginalized communities, who might slip through the cracks.
Right. And there are other factors, too, like drug resistance.
Yeah.
And the need for continued investment in research and development.
Exactly.
And, thinking beyond India, what does this success story tell us about the global fight against TB?
It shows that eliminating TB is possible even in resource-constrained settings. With dedication, strategic planning, and a commitment to reaching everyone in need, we can make a real difference.
It's inspiring, right? It's a testament to what can be achieved when we prioritize public health and work together.
Absolutely.
So to wrap up what we've learned today, India has made incredible progress against TB, achieving a reduction in cases that's twice the global average. This is largely due to their comprehensive NTP program, which is a model for other countries to learn from.
Right. And this brings up an interesting question. What specific lessons can other countries, particularly those with high TB burdens, learn from India's approach? How can they adapt and implement elements of NTP in their own unique contexts?
Those are great questions to consider. And for our listeners out there, if you want to dig deeper, I highly recommend checking out the NTP website. There are some amazing stories about the work they're doing and the lives they're impacting every day.
Definitely worth a look.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.